Hey there, and welcome to the DNA Financial Solution channel, where business tax strategy meets spirit and all our favorite entrepreneurs come so they can learn how to ascend their business. My name is Adrian Trice, and I am the CEO of DNA Financial Solutions. And let me tell you, it has been crazy over the last couple weeks. Are y'all okay? This big, beautiful bill has the internet going bonkers on top of everything else that's going on in this country. Today, I wanted to go over what I discovered in my examination of the bill. I believe it's going to move business owners into a wealth state of mind. There's going to be opportunities that you will be able to take advantage of with this big, beautiful bill, but it's going to require strategy. It's going to require know-how, and it's going to require vision. So it depends on where you are in your walk with your business relationship. But if you stay focused and you want to achieve growth, the bill is written for you. Okay, so pay attention. I've captured some of the top things that I thought will be beneficial to my clients and my colleagues to know how to take advantage of this big, beautiful bill. So without further ado, let's get started. First one, QBI, Qualified Business Income Deduction. Previously, it allowed you to deduct 20% of that income earnings off in a formulated plug into the tax system. Now it's 23%. What does that mean? Not to be overly complicating this thing, it means more money in your pocket. So instead of that 20%, it's 23%, and I'm loving that. I really think that this was a great insertion of this particular provision. The next one is the startup cost. $5,000 was what it was before, and now it's $25K, and everyone could agree that has ever started up a business. In 2025, you really can run through $5K easily starting up a business. So I honestly thought that this was one of the things that will encourage more entrepreneurs to go ahead and invest, especially if you don't have that preliminary capital. At least you'll be able to deduct some of those expenses. The other one was my favorite, and this is the one I crossed my fingers on to pass in this bill because it promotes the investment wealthy mindset if you have assets in your business. Win for those who are in the trucking business that want to upgrade their fleets. Win for real estate investors. Win for those who own a salon. Win for those who have plants or manufacturing where they actually have to have equipment in their business. They now can take it at 100%. Because if you've noticed, and maybe you haven't, it kept decreasing. Now we no longer have to worry about that. The next one that was very important, remember that controversy when the government passed the act making Zelle, well, not so much Zelle, I apologize. I know Venmo was part of the conversation, PayPal was part of the conversation, and them having to send out 1099s at the beginning of the year for everyone who produced a amount of $600K. That was an admin nightmare and expense. So now instead of $600, it's gone to $20K and 200 transactions. So can you imagine the amount of electronic data that would actually spare? I know that a lot of people don't think about that, but this was a huge win. Not to have all that paper trail. But keep in mind, just because you didn't get a 1099, you still have to report that income on your taxes. So just keep that at the forefront of that. The next one is also an admin win. Often people who own businesses do smaller contracts, outsourced, like little services, had to do 1099 NECs, MISCs, miscellaneous, 1099 miscellaneous. And it was $600. Trust and believe me, it was a nightmare as someone who provides those services, especially if they did not have it connected to a payroll company. Now it has increased to $2,000. So those small deals that you were making, $500 here, $600 there, you no longer have to create a 1099. Again, you still have to report that income if you had that deal on the other side of things, but that was a big win. Next one, the cannabis business can now expense like a regular business. It was kind of wonky when you were doing any type of cannabis businesses and they weren't allowing, these companies to expense. They can be treated like any other business. Definitely, if you have an established as such, just make sure that these are the type of expenses that you can take within that industry. The next one, this is beautiful. This is big. This is encouraging growth. It is new and it's the apprenticeship credit. You now can get up to 10,000 K per worker if you can get them into an approved program. And I have spoke with Avery about it. We want to create a whole entire mini workshop on how to get your business approved for these credits. This is when you start leveling up your business. You start wanting to develop those legacy-wise, information-wise. Like, I'm super excited about that because I'm all about a program. So completely want to say this was a win. The other thing that I noticed that was awesome was the opportunity zones changed a bit. So instead of, let's see, sorry, I have all these notes. It was primarily for the real estate companies and it was focused on that. Now it's like introducing the concept of opportunity zones for infrastructure, green energy, broadband, and active businesses. In my more explicit, detailed video about this, I will go into those definitions because I think there's an ample amount of opportunity for those to qualify for this credit. Of course, credits means a reduction in tax liability, and there's also opportunity to get funding in these opportunity zones. So all of that opportunity, right? The next thing would be meals and entertainment. That was 50%. Baby, it is back. It is 100% qualified meals, okay? Just remember, qualified meals. And then you have to look at this nuance that I'll go into about this entertainment. Because remember, entertainment was taken off of the table completely. But it looks as if there might be just some nuances that we'll go over in one of my more detailed videos. I am loving it. R&D credit. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm excited about this, and I do not want to bore you, but there's a host of businesses, including my own, that have been really taking on AI, implementing AI, doing workflows around AI. It is a beautiful time in business if you have implemented it, provided training courses. This can be up to 500K. 500K and it can offset like payroll taxes. It can expand. It's expanded the categories. Again, overview here. We're going to go into more detail about it later. Let me see what else I got here. I believe those are the top things. Let me see. Yes, I would say those are the top things. I didn't want to go over the cuts. I will make a video about the cuts. I'm going to have to do just a bunch of batching on my content because I'm still in the deep of things, thugging it out because now it's mid-year and now books are having to be done and we're wanting to be ahead of time. So with that being said, this was the overview of the Big Beautiful Bill. Hopefully as business owners, it's causing you to think about how you can move different. Please continue to follow me because we do have a masterclass that are coming out. We also have a couple of other mini courses, ebooks, all of the things that I'm wanting to roll out before the end of the month. so you guys can have a positive mid-year experience prepping for 2026. So again, all this stuff will be in the comments. I'll have a booking link in the comments. I have limited to how many free bookings I can get. So if you can see it, get in. If not, then I have some really reasonable prices to do one-on-ones with me. And then I have robust consulting and services to support you in accounting and taxes. So that is it. Thank you for tuning in. And until the next time, be blessed and abundant.